Hello everyone, Quentin's here for a new video. So it'll be episode 6 of our 7-unit training on how to get started with the Davra platform. So today, episode 6 is going to be about rules and geofences. So a lot of this unit here in the dev portal, you can find it on developer.davra.com. So a lot of this tutorial will be more at explaining how rules work and what can be done. So we're going to talk briefly through the different stages during the tutorial. But first, we're going to talk about something really useful, a useful tool built in directly by default inside the platform, which are geofences. Okay, so geofences are basically zones that you can create, and then you can plug these zones to a rule and basically detect when a GPS event is either inside or outside a geofence. So it'd be really useful with the rules engine, as I mentioned, but it can also be used in other type of scenarios. So let's discover and talk more about geofences. So we'll go into Davra.com. Up. You can find geofences under the integration tab. So when you go to settings, integration, you can find here like the ESRI geofences. So we're using ESRI maps to draw the geofences. So by just clicking here, okay, so we're going to create a new geofence here called Paris. Up, just press next there, and what we have, we got the map. We can zoom in up, so zoom in, we need to use that button up. And what we'll do, we'll use here the drag and drop tools, and we're just gonna draw a circle around Paris. So we're happy with that circle. If we want, we can erase like that, or if you want to do it again. So, all right. So here's like a circle around Paris. So we can submit. Okay, so our geofence is created here, and there's one zone. All right. So what we want to do in this tutorial is try to find when the device is either inside or outside of Paris, and every time the device is inside Paris, we can say welcome to Paris. Okay, that'll be kind of our rule and scenario for this. So what I'll do is in rules engine here, I'm gonna create a new rule, and we're gonna go to welcome to Paris. Up. And in the trigger, basically we're gonna use one of the trigger here called geofence. So during the tutorial we go through all the different type of triggers, but what we're really interested in today is this geofence. So we're gonna pick it. So name of this trigger would be Paris, would be inside Paris. So for any device, right, which is inside Paris, okay, we're gonna create. We're gonna have an action which is what can we create? An incident report. Let me see what I did in the tutorial. Up. All right, yeah, okay. We'll do we'll do okay, we're gonna use a webbook.io. So the action we're gonna use is the following one. So it's called HTTP push. So basically, HTTP push is really interesting. That type of action you'll do to make an integration with a third service API, or just let's say you want to create a macro service with a custom integration. For example, we have on Dev Portal tutorial to send WebEx messages with the rules engine, or send a Twilio a WhatsApp message or SMS. So you can do that by just specifying here a name. So it'd be in this case webbook, and here getting a URL for destination. So what I'll put there is I'll go to this website called webbook.site, it will give me a URL I can copy, like this one, and basically it will just listen to any call to that given endpoint. So here, maximum 1 per 1 second, and create. Okay, so now every time we got a GPS event, and I'll describe it a bit more what's a GPS event in a second. Every time we got GPS event, inside this geofence, which is in Paris, it will send a post request to that endpoint. Okay, so what we'll do is we're gonna create a new device, and that'll be our I don't know, in this case could be like a renting car. So let's pick a French car. It's gonna be a Clio. A Renault Clio going to Paris. Up, we can view the device, and as you can see on the device page, we have this type of map, and basically if we click somewhere, so let's say the Renault Clio here is in Nantes, and we play move, basically up, and if you reload, it will move the device to, okay, it would move the device to Nantes, and as you can see here, we saw that the point has been sent. So now what we'll do is, okay, the device is no longer in Nantes, but in Paris, so up, we're gonna put it right in the middle of Paris. Do you want to move? Yes. It's moving the device, boom, now it's in Paris. So what we should see in the other end is, boom, a new, inside the webbook.site, a new payload arrived because our device has been seen inside the Paris geofence. And here we can see a bit what's going on. So this is what payload each rule is generated when it's getting fired. So it's really useful. That's a lot of information you'll be interesting to use later if you want to create a custom microservice or for data. So you can see here the rules that have been fired, some information about the name of the rule, the action, what triggered the fire, what triggered the rule, the actions that have been fired, and also here the datum, so what data point has been sent to generate this. So in this case, it's like we can see a datum with a name called no name, so this is just a dummy data point. But as you can see here, there is a latitude and longitude, and basically every time we push a data point with a longitude and latitude, it would create inside the backend of the Davra platform what we call a GPS event. And this GPS event is what's updating the location of the device. Okay, so that specific data point is what triggered this rule. You can have this datum enriched, and basically what's happening in datum enriched is like you have the device details as well as the latest metric value for a given device. So it could be really useful if you want to treat with this data. Actually, I'll zoom a little bit more here if you want to look. So here the datum, when you see UID, longitude, latitude, and here datum enriched with the device details. Okay, you of course have the timestamp and of when this has been triggered. Okay, so cool. That's fair enough. So now we can see where is our device. But what we would like to do now to work a bit more with this GPS event is be able to track across time a device to see, you know, the journey of a device. Okay, so what we'll do here today is we're gonna create a custom widget, put it in an app, and this custom widget will basically the same a bit as like this, but inside the custom app, and we also be able to track the different previous GPS event that's been sent. So I'll go to application here, and I'm gonna create a new app. So it'll be GPS tracker, and GPS tracker. And I think what I need to do is create a custom component. So what we do inside advanced components, we should be able to find this one, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, ESRE map for a single device. So what I'll do here, I'm just gonna clone that widget, and we're gonna kind of tune it, pimp it a little bit. So here it's in Dublin, but if I look at, if I select here my Renault Clio, as you can see, by default, this widget has kind of, okay, the history of the GPS location based on the time filter up there. But if I click here, I cannot move the widget, right? So what I have to do is simply changing a bit of code inside the index.js. So here is like the code, you can just copy and paste. So the changes, and we can go through them quickly, is just having an event, binding an event on click. So like, I think that's the map on click. Basically would generate a tooltip to make, are you sure you want to move the device? And if yes, just trigger the action to do that. So we'll use the move to device 2, which basically is going to push an IoT data, okay? An IoT data with longitude and latitude, and this would basically move our device, okay? So I'll copy that piece of code here. So I think if I go to row, okay, and copy this. When you copy from GitHub, you need to be careful. I think it's adding an extra line at the end, this thing here. So I'm just going to drop it. So let me. All right. And I'm going to save. Okay. So now let's imagine the device goes to try. And then move. Okay, so as you can see, move down, and then we can go to Bourges, move, and move to Bourges and go back to Orléans, and then get back to Paris. Okay, so we got our device, what did kind of the loop, and if we go back to Webbook here, because the device is back in Paris, we got a new event that has been fired here and been received by Webbook, that site. Okay, so we're happy with that. I'm just gonna get a screenshot of this because it looks nice. Poof. I'm gonna say publish. And here, if we want here, we can change and put basically the screenshot. So let me see, I can do the screenshot up. And we're gonna be up, so there'll be a screenshot for a custom widget, and here it'll be like with move action, and we're gonna put it in the custom category and no description published. Okay, so now what we can do is back in our app, my GPS tracker, go here to add widget, custom components, my nice widget here, boom, no need for that, no need for title, and basically we're gonna put it in there, off we go, we're happy with it, we can leave and go in kind of the view mode, the nice up here. And here we got our big map, and if we select our device, so for example, if I select the virtual device I had before, it's going to put it, you remember in the previous unit it was in Dublin, but now if we pick our Renault Clio up, it will put us down there, up there, and we can move somewhere to Caen, for example, up, and it's been moving. All right. So that's kind of a bit more details about GPS and how it can be used in the platform. There's other type of application that can be used, but usually for asset tracking, it's really useful to track the GPS like that. For any type of sort of fleet management, really useful tool. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. We almost finished with this Get Started training course. The last bit will be in the next episode, the final one, episode 7, and we're gonna be chatting about advanced concept and write our own fully custom web application. It's gonna be great. Alright, until then, I wish you the best, stay safe, peace!